Hello all. So we're going to module 6, Unified Power Flow Controller and Interline Power Flow Controller. Both of these control compensators, that is transmission line control compensators, come under the category of switching converter type combined compensators. Okay, so let us see at first what is meant by or what are the types of the switching converter type combined compensators. Okay, so as it is so clear from the name itself, switching converter type combined compensators. That is, switching converter means this compensator will be having a converter which will be having a number of switches, and combined compensators. So several number of converters having many switches are combined to each other in some manner, whether in series, shunt, back to back, like that, and then they are connected to the transmission line for the required compensation. Okay, so that is what meant by this switching converter type combined compensators. So under this type of or under this class of compensators, there are actually three possible types of control compensators. So as a type 1, like SVC and TCSC, that is static wire compensators and thyristor controlled series capacitor. Okay. Under this category, the controllers falling under this category, they cannot exchange the real power with the AC system. Okay, but they are useful for the reactive power compensation. Okay, they are useful in reactive power compensation purpose, but they cannot exchange the real power or reactive power with the AC system. Okay, so this is the type 1 type of combined compensators. Now, next category, type 2. Under type 2 controllers, they can exchange both the real and reactive power, but they cannot compensate for the reactive power. Okay, compensation of reactive power means to generate the reactive power as well as to absorb the reactive power, which is when there is a difference when there is a demand for the reactive power within the transmission line. If there is a negative demand, we should we should absorb the reactive power, whereas if there is a positive demand for the reactive power, we should generate the reactive power and should supply to the transmission system. Okay, so that is not possible by this type 2 controllers. They can just exchange the required real and reactive power only. Okay, the example for this type of converters are TCVAR, thyristor controlled wire compensators, and thyristor controlled phase angle regulators. Okay, now next categories, that is third type of category, is a combination of the type 1 and type 2 actually. Okay, so what is the combination? That is both the requirements to exchange the real and reactive power as well as to compensate for the reactive power is possible here. Okay, so our unified power flow controller and interline power flow controller came under this category of compensators. Okay, that is this UPFC and IPFC. Now this type 3 controllers can generate as well as absorb the reactive power. But if they have both this ability, they can exchange the real power as I told, but they cannot generate the real power. Okay, these controllers cannot generate the real power. So the real power they are taking from the transmission line should be stored somewhere. Okay, so that is about the UPFC. So for that purpose, what we can do in order to if they can receive the real power from transmission line, it should be stored somewhere, as well as if they have to exchange the real power transmission line or to supply it, they should take it from somewhere, say a voltage source or a real power source, battery, anything. Okay, But here we are exchanging the real power. So in the midpoint of this exchange path, there should be a storage device. Okay. So this is the basic idea of the switching converter type combined compensators. Now we can move on to our UPFC section. Okay. Unified power flow controller. Actually, this is a multifunctional fact controller. Okay. Actually, this behaves as if we have connected several fact controllers together. Okay. This is the construction or the working or the controlling of this UPFC is such that in order to get a combined effect of all the compensations. Okay, what are the parameters that we can control? Real power, okay, reactive power, phase angle, voltage magnitude, like the many parameters are there. Okay, everything we can maintain or we can keep in our hand or we can keep in control with this UPFC. Okay, that is why we are mentioning this UPFC as a unified power flow controller. Unified, the word unified, you may note that. Okay, multifunction fact controller, and also this UPFC is having a combined type of converters, as I have already told. That is, this will be having converters. So now we can go on to the control diagram of this UPFC. Okay, just you have a view of this. There is two converters are here, as you can see, two converters. And in order to transfer the real power through this path, there is a on the midsection there is a energy storage device, say a capacitor here. So this is the actually UPFC one. Okay, before that, we should learn about this VPQ. VPQ is injecting the voltage that is being injected from this UPFC to the transmission line. Okay, and the parameters or the values related to this VPQ is being controlled in this control section. As per the operation of this control section, as per the sensed variables, parameter settings and reference values, the output of this converter 2, that is VPQ, will be in a controlled voltage. Okay. Now, what are the limitations or what are the range of this VPQ that is and within which we can control this VPQ? Let us learn about that. Okay. That is, as I have told, we are injecting a voltage by this UPFC. Therefore, we can call this UPFC as a generalized synchronous voltage source, SVS. Okay. A voltage source will inject voltage, right? So here the injecting voltage is VPQ, and there will be a range for this voltage because we are sensing the real-time parameters and we are controlling the UPFC, right? So there will be a range for this output voltage that is given by 0 to VPQ max. The range is 0 to VPQ max. There will be a maximum value for this VPQ injecting voltage. Similarly, the phase angle of the injecting voltage. The phase angle also can be varied in a maximum range, that is 0 to 2 pi. 2 pi is 360 degree over a circle. Okay. Complete compensation of this phase angle is possible, 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So this is the range of the VPQ values. Okay. Now let us see. Let us see the two machine model of this UPFC. Okay. We are drawing it as a single line or circuit diagram in a equivalent form. So here, this is our synchronous voltage source. What is synchronous voltage source here? It is UPFC. So this is the UPFC here, and the voltage it is injecting is VPQ. This is our sending end bus, this is receiving end bus, and this is the bus to which the voltage is being injected. Okay. So when we inject the voltage VPQ to this bus, what will happen after this bus? the sending voltage Vs will get added up with this VPQ, and we will get an effective voltage in this bus, which is given by Vs plus VPQ. Okay. Now I is the line voltage in our transmission line, okay, and here is the receiving end bus, and X is the line reactance. So what is this Vx? What is this Vx? Vx is the effective voltage or compensated voltage after the compensation, after the injection of this VPQ. That is, it will be the potential difference across these two. Okay. So what is Vx? Vx will be Vs effective minus Vr. Okay. Okay. Now go on to this phasor diagram. It is just the expansion of this equation. That is, this line is Vs sending in voltage, and this one is our injecting voltage VPQ, and effective of this two, when we added up this two, we will get effective voltage, and Vr is receiving in voltage, and Vs effective minus Vr, we will get Vx. Okay, and rho is the phase angle of the injected voltage. Okay, and this del 0 is the transmission line phase angle difference between Vs and Vr, and del is the final phase angle difference after the compensation. Okay. Okay. So this is our circuit diagram. This section I have already explained. There is a converter here. Converter will be having a number of switches. Here we can see there are 4 switches in a converter. Here there are another set of 4 switches, and this is a DC link storage capacitor, VDC. Okay, so this is a transmission line which we have to compensate for the reactive power. Also, we should exchange the real power. Okay, so we have to take the power. We have to take the power from the transmission line over this path to the converter one. So for taking the power from the transmission line, there should be a shunt transformer or supply transformer, as you can see here, this one, supply transformer. It will provide the AC supply to the input of this converter 1. Now what will this converter 1 do? Converter 1 will convert this AC power, AC input, into the VDC, into DC power, AC to DC. That is, this operate as a rectifier. Whereas what will this converter 2 do? It will convert the DC power available from the DC storage capacitor to the AC power. So this converter 2 acts as an inverter here, inverting function. It does. This AC power will be fed back to the series transformer, and the series transformer will series transformer is coupled with the transmission line, as you can see, and thereby the compensated power or compensated voltage is fed to the transmission line again. Okay, now what will make this UPFC section to do this function? For that, we need to control the switches. The switches we are using here will be control switches, that is MOSFET, IGBT, thyristors, like that. So they will be having gate to which we should provide gating pulses as a control voltage. For that, there is a control section over here, and this control section will provide the gating pulses for all these converter switches. So for the control section to produce these gating pulses, we should provide necessary input to this control section. This one. As I have told, there is a real-time or dynamic control is possible by this UPFC. So for the real-time monitoring, we should have sensors for sensing line voltage, line current, phase angle, reactive power demand, phase angle demand, impedance, everything. Okay, so these demands or the ideal values which we prefer should be given as the reference values. Okay, voltage, impedance, phase angle, and reactive power reference, they should be given as a reference values, and these are the sensed values. Okay, the real-time values are given by this. Now parameter setting. Okay, in order to achieve these values, these sensed values should be transformed to these values. For that, some parameters should be arranged, some parameters should be adjusted. That is this parameter settings. Okay. Now in UPFC there are three modes of operation. So in node 3, actually four modes of operations are there for the UPFC. Okay, so mode 1 operation, that is voltage regulation. Under voltage regulation, our requirement is to change in order to increase or decrease the voltage magnitude of the transmission line. Okay, we need to increase or decrease the voltage that is being transmitted through the transmission line, and at the receiving end we should get a higher magnitude voltage. That is the only requirement. No phase angle change is required, no any other reactive power compensation etc. are required here. So in such case, what we need to inject by this UPFC? It is just a small or required amount voltage with a magnitude and having a zero phase angle difference from the sending end voltage. So this is what shown here. You can see this is the delta V vector. This is the delta V vector. Delta V is the voltage that is being injected by the UPFC in the voltage regulation mode. And this delta V will be positive or negative as per the voltage demand. If we need to increase the voltage, delta V will be positive. If we need to decrease the voltage, delta V will be negative. Okay. So when we inject this delta V to the transmission line, to the series transformer, the effective voltage will be sending in voltage plus this delta V, and we will get an increased or decreased magnitude of the voltage at the effective bus. Okay. Now moving on to the next mode, series reactive power compensation. This mode is similar to a capacitor connected within the transmission line in series. Okay, that is when we connect a capacitor, fixed capacitor in series to the transmission line, what compensation we will get? We will get series reactive power compensation, or the capacitor will inject some voltage as per its capacity, and this voltage is injected in line quadrature with the line current. In quadrature with the line current, the voltage injected by the capacitor will be line quadrature with the line current of the transmission line. Okay, this one also work in the same manner. That is, in this mode of operation of UPFC, we are the voltage which we are injecting is VC here. The voltage which we are injecting will be perpendicular to the line current, or we are converting the voltage in such a way that it comes in quadrature with the line current. Okay, so this you can see here, the injected voltage VC is in perpendicular with the line current. Okay, it is in perpendicular with the line current. So when we inject the voltage like this, then the reactive power will be compensated in the transmission line. This is meant by series reactive power compensation. And here what is the effective voltage? It is V plus VC. V is the sending in voltage, VC is the VPQ, that is injecting voltage, and V plus VC effective voltage. Okay. And if our demand is negative, we can inject minus VC also. So our effective voltage becomes V minus VC. The only condition in this series reactive power compensation mode is the injector voltage should be perpendicular to the current. So if our requirement is reactive power compensation, then a reference value of the required reactive power will be given to the will be activated within the control section. As a result, the injector voltage or VPQ or VPQ will be in a line quadratio with the line current. We are controlling the switches of the converter so that it should produce such a voltage, and it is injected to the transmission line in a series manner, same as a capacitor. But what is the main importance, or what is the main advantage of this step of UPFC compensation comparing to capacitive compensation? Yes, it is just by capacitor it is only possible a fixed compensation or permanent compensation. What maximum amount of capacity capacitor can hold, or there will be a limit for the voltage injected by the capacitor. Okay, it can, and also when the line current is varying, the capacitive voltage cannot be varied because it is fixed component. But through this UPFC, as we are monitoring the line current every time or each second, or real time monitoring, whenever the line current is increasing or decreasing or varying, we can change the controlled voltage. That is, we can change the VPQ depending upon the changes in the I, and thereby real-time monitoring and real-time series reactive power compensation is possible. By the capacitor, we cannot do that. We can only give a fixed compensation. So this UPFC compensation is always flexible in all modes of operation. Okay. Next mode of operation is phase angle regulation. By this phase angle regulation, we only need to regulate for the phase angle. So for that, no magnitude is required. Therefore, the voltage we are injecting is V sigma here, and this is of a small magnitude. And when we are injecting this V sigma into the transmission line, this will get added up with the sending end voltage, and a phase angle corrected effective voltage will be available. And you can see here the V and the V plus V sigma, both these vectors are of same magnitude almost, but this one is phase angle corrected as we require. Okay. Now, the last mode of operation is multifunction power flow control. This mode of operation is one of the main advantages of this UPFC. Actually, this is the combination of the previous modes. That is, it is a combination of voltage control mode, phase angle regulation mode, and series capacitive line compensation. Okay. Okay. See this phasor diagram. In this is a sending end voltage, and this is a voltage regulation mode vector. In voltage regulation mode, no phase angle change. So this injector voltage is in series in phase with the voltage V, and Vc is the series reactive power compensation vector. Here, what is the requirement there? That vector should be in quadratio with the line current. As you can see, this is perpendicular to this one. Now this V sigma, which is of a negligible magnitude but is phase corrected, so this corresponds to phase angle regulation mode. Okay. So all these three vectors, when connected all together, we will reach the effective voltage. Okay. So this VPQ is the sum of these three vectors. VPQ is equal to delta V plus Vc plus V sigma, and this effective voltage is V plus VPQ. Okay. So by this UPFC, multifunction power flow control is possible. That is, we can do all this compensation at the same time. Okay. As we are real-time monitoring all the parameters, we can combine all this mode of operation, and we will get an effective compensation. This is one of the main advantages of the UPFC. That's why we are employing UPFC for the transmission line compensation purpose, for maintenance, for everything. Okay. Now, so these are the various modes of operation. Now, advantages of the UPFC. I have already told many advantages. We are summing up all that. Okay, these are various modes, that is voltage regulation is possible, phase angle control is possible, reactive power compensation is possible, and the real-time control is possible. Due to the possibility of this real-time control, we can track the requirements and achieve it at every time whenever we require. Okay, multifunctional flexibility, that is a multifunction control mode, combination of all the three modes. Dynamic compensation, it is same as real time almost, of the AC power system. Okay. So now you can imagine why we are using this UPFC, why we are preferring over the UPFC. Okay. Next class we will move on to the validation of this, or we should make sure how much compensation or how we are getting the compensation of this UPFC by the UPFC. Real and reactive power compensation validation in the next video. Okay, thank you.